At some point in your money journey, you've probably heard someone excitedly share all the benefits that come from real estate. And you've probably found yourself wondering, what's the truth about owning a rental property? That's why we tapped a team of real estate experts to learn more about rental property pros and cons. Plus, we'll share our personal favorite way to invest in real estate so you don't have to worry about the majority of the common real estate drawbacks. Hey everyone, this is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, a channel dedicated to helping you strengthen your family tree and live financially free. If you like what you hear today, please consider giving me the YouTube triple thanks. That's hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, and then commenting maybe your thoughts about rental property pros and cons down below. Thanks so much. Okay, what are rental properties? Before you can weigh the pros and cons of rental properties, it's important to be clear on the definition of what a rental property is. A property is a rental property if an investor purchased the home, tenants other than the investor live in the home, and a lease or other rental agreement outlines this arrangement. If a city or town zones a property as residential, it can be lived in. That means they're supposed to be occupied by individuals or families, not commercial businesses. Let's talk types of rental properties. Did you know that there are actually different types of rental properties? Rental properties can include single-family homes, duplex and other multi-family homes, apartment complexes, and condos and townhouses. There are also commercial rental properties in addition to these residential types of rental properties. However, we'll keep our focus on residential rental properties for this video. Let's discuss the rental property pros first. Pro number one, outperforms index funds. It's hard to find an investment that is loved more than index funds, at least me personally speaking. In fact, they're probably the simplest hands-off way to become a millionaire. However, real estate investors like Scott Trench from BiggerPockets points out that real estate can outperform index funds. Here's Scott.
I believe long-term, a leveraged real estate portfolio that is operated well can and statistically should outperform a comparable index fund or other average stock investment. And I believe that that effect can be very dramatic over a long hold period of, let's say, 10 or more years.
Of course, this isn't a guarantee, and that's why people often diversify their investment portfolio to include real estate, as well as index funds and other investments. Pro number two, it grows your money more quickly. Another benefit to rental properties is how quickly you can grow your income stream. Paula Pant from Afford Anything owns 8 rental properties. Here's Paula.
Now, if you're investing in stocks, the returns are mostly in the form of capital appreciation. When you're investing in a rental property, the returns bias towards that dividend. They bias towards the income stream. And what that means is that rental property investing is a more appropriate choice for somebody who has the goal of building passive income to reach financial independence because of the fact that the returns bias towards the income stream. So here's an example of that. You buy a duplex for $300,000. It rents for $1,500 on both sides, which means $3,000 in total. For the sake of simplicity, we'll assume that you purchased this in cash so that we can compare it to investing $300,000 in cash in the stock market. So this rental property collects $3,000 gross. Half of that goes to operating overhead, which means that it's collecting $1,500 net per month. That is $18,000 a year, which means given the fact that the price of the property was $300,000, that is a 6% dividend. Now, assuming the property just keeps pace with inflation and no more, that means the total return would be 9%. And so, comparably, you might put that same $300,000 into the stock market. Let's say you put it into a S&P 500 index fund, and that over a long-term aggregate average also has a 9% return. But in the case of the rental property, you have 6% out of that 9% coming in the form of an income stream, which means that if you were to achieve an early retirement or you wanted to live on passive income, you could then keep that 6%.
Pro number 3, house hacking. One way that people hit fire or coast fire faster is through house hacking. They rent a room or an area of their homes, and that covers much of their housing costs. By minimizing your own housing costs, you can find financial freedom a lot faster. In addition to potentially covering all or part of your mortgage, rental properties often come with tax benefits. Even if you only rent extra space in your primary home, you can often write off a portion of your mortgage interest. Pro number 4, set it and forget it options exist. fast. If you talk to rental property experts, it can often feel like there's a steep learning curve. In fact, many people worry that it's too complicated or might even feel like a second job. But there are plenty of ways to take a set it and forget it approach to rental properties. Working with a property manager is a great way to ensure you never have to feel the late night flooded basement phone call. Additionally, you can invest in real estate platforms like Arrived Homes that do all the research and all the homework for you. You can rely on other experts who've analyzed the market and selected high-performing properties. You can even eliminate a lot of the risk and a lot of the work and still reap the benefits of rental properties in your portfolio. For more insight into our video sponsor, Arrived Homes, check out their link in our video description. As a current Arrived Homes user, I can say that I've been enjoying quarterly dividend checks without any of the hassle of being a landlord. Speaking of the hassle of being a landlord, let's discuss some rental property drawbacks. Con number one, real estate investing is not passive. Unless you're using a crowdfunding platform like Arrived Homes, traditional rental property investing is a lot of work. You're running a small business with real costs and real deadlines and real human factors. Since this is not something to be taken lightly, you'll need to dedicate time to make sure you're doing it right financially, you're doing it right legally, and right ethically. If you're in a busy time in your life already, investing in rental properties may not be worth it. Con number two, unpredictable taxes and insurance costs. Most people who take out mortgages on rental properties have fixed mortgage costs. However, property taxes and homeowners insurance costs can swing, sometimes dramatically depending on the area. If your rental income can't absorb those rising costs, you may have to raise your rent at the end of the lease. This can mean turnover in tenants and potentially other issues. Con number three, unpredictable neighborhoods. Sometimes rental property owners find themselves in for a surprise when their neighborhood starts to change. It's possible that an area can be hit with high unemployment if a big company goes bust. Other times, the age of the neighborhood, it starts to shift. Young families move out if school boundaries change, and so on. A changing neighborhood can make it difficult to lease your property, and it can also change the type of tenants who want to live there. Of course, one way to lower this risk is to stay involved in local news and politics to keep a pulse on the neighborhood you're investing in. You can also take even more of a hands-off approach by using rental platforms who employ experts to research neighborhoods and do the heavy lifting for you. Con number four, leverage requires increased risk. One of the reasons why real estate investments can sometimes outperform index funds is because they are sometimes a much riskier investment. Here's Scott Trench one more time.
This outperformance, this extra return that a real estate investor can generate, only works if the portfolio is leveraged and leveraged for the entire duration of the hold period, with regular re-leverage as notes are paid down or average annual long-term appreciation sets in and equity values increase.
What does that mean? Well, it means you need to really understand how your money is invested and how your properties are generating income. Here's Scott once again.
So if you're going to use leverage over a long period of time, that creates additional risk. And an uneducated, undisciplined operator can and will likely lose a substantial amount of money or go bankrupt at some point in the hold period if they are not managing their properties and their portfolio correctly. Either that or they're going to seek to reduce risk by paying down their debt and owning the properties free and clear.
Does this mean you shouldn't invest in real estate? Not at all. It means that you should do your homework first, which is true of any investment, really. The key to protecting your money is not to invest in something you don't understand. Con number five, home values can drop in tough times. Deacon Hayes from Well Kept Wallet currently owns one Airbnb. He's also had experience in the homeownership and rental market for more than a decade. He reminds us that home values don't increase indefinitely. Here's Deacon as he recalls real estate in 2006.
2006, decided to buy two properties in Arizona. The housing crisis happened. Those properties were cut in half in value, and it took almost, 11 years for them to get back to even. However, one of them was foreclosed on. The other one we sold for like a $50,000 loss.
Much like the stock market, it's difficult or even near impossible to predict how the real estate market will move. And just like the stock market, Ups and downs are to be expected. Unfortunately, it is often only the market ups that are discussed. Making sure you have a plan to weather market downturns in real estate or any other investments is key to managing this rental property con. In the end, the truth about owning rental properties is that your results can vary depending on many different factors. That's why it's important to understand rental property pros and cons before diving in. If you're looking for a straightforward way to invest in real estate, check out Arrived Homes to see if they might fit your goals. Their ability to give you the pros of rental properties without all the cons is something I've been enjoying for the past year as an investor. You can learn more about Arrived Homes and how you can start investing in rental properties for as little as $100 in our video description. Enough from our side, everyone. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on rental properties? And what do you think about these pros and cons of rental properties? Would you add any other pros or any other cons to this list? Did we miss any? Please let us know in the comments below. This is Andy Hill from Marriage, Kids, and Money, signing off. Carpe diem.